Don't you love it, guys? Don't you love it? Another all-time high for Palantir stock. We hit $125 this morning on the dot, and then we saw a pretty sharp decline. You guys can see here down to 119 pretty much, 118.50, and since that point, well, the dip was bought. Now we're back over 122, so we have to break down the charts, do an update, go over what I'm looking to do. But first, guys, smash the like button, make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 100,000 subs here on YouTube, guys, and get your 30 stocks from Moo. Fund your account with at least $100, you get 5 stocks. Fund your account with at least $2,000, you get 25 more free stocks. So guys, if you want 30 free stocks and you want to help out the channel, use that link down below or go to stocks.com/moo. And with that being said, guys, cheers, take a sip of that coffee, and let's dive into it. So like I said, man, Palantir just keeps on shocking the markets, right? And this is why I haven't sold a share. I mean, we've covered how I think Palantir, there's a lot of similarities to NVIDIA when NVIDIA first started taking off, and that's why I haven't sold a share. When it hit 70, 80, 90, people are like, oh, it's overvalued, it's going to collapse, and well, here we are. It keeps on moving, and that's not to say it's not going to see a pullback. It probably will see a sharp pullback at some point here, but either way, it's still one of those stocks that just can shock people nonstop, right? And just when you think it's topping off, right, it keeps on moving, man. And again, we hit another high today, $125 per share, and now we're at $122.50. We're up about 3% on the day, and you guys can see if I start pulling the layers back a little bit here, what we're noticing is on this 5-day, 5-minute, first of all, we're breaking out, obviously, above the highs from last week, but even more importantly, to build on that, we can see right here. Let me get this channel tool out. What did we do this morning, guys? We not only broke out to an all-time high, $125 per share, which is great, but we then pulled down, right? Held, retested that old resistance as support at about $118, $119, and we're rallying off of it. This is very good news for the bulls. This goes to show the strength in this stock, the strength in the bulls, right? You know, we easily could have failed there, maybe filled the gap back down to 110 and get back in this channel that we were trading in for, what, a week or two? That easily could have happened, but no. Buyers came in, bought up the dip. It held that old resistance as support. We also bounced off of both of these moving averages on the 30-minute chart, and we're taking off again, guys. We're taking off yet again. And we called it out, did we not? We actually outlined this ascending triangle within the sideways channel. We called this out literally in the last couple of Palantir update, the videos we've made. And that's playing out as well. It's playing out, guys. We, again, broke out, which is great news. This, honestly, man, looks like it could go higher. I know it sounds nuts. But that is what these charts are pointing to. And it's not like we have a crazy green day today or anything, guys. Markets are slightly green, but not much, not by much. In fact, the Dow is in the red a bit here. S&P's up 0.1%, not much. QQQ barely at break even, and the Russell is up 0.4%. So we're doing this in the midst of a type of day for the market, and we just keep on pushing, man. We just keep on pushing. And a lot of people argue, Palantir is overvalued. The P is a 600. The forward P is a 280, right? I just checked it earlier today, guys. And looking at traditional measures, or by looking at traditional measures, judging this stock, yes, it is overvalued. It is overvalued if you're looking at the P only, right? If that's all you're fixated on. But let me tell you this. When it comes to companies that are true game changers, right? Unicorns, whatever you want to call them, I don't really pay attention too much to the PE. I know it sounds crazy. I know the value investors are freaking out when I say that, but I don't really pay attention too much to the PE because all of these big tech companies, think of Amazon, think of Alphabet, think of Apple, think of, the list goes on. I mean, name them all, right? Name them all. A lot of these, when they were in their earlier stages, were very overvalued, right? I remember this. You know, people were saying Amazon's overvalued, you know, all these companies are overvalued, and that was, let's just say, trillions of market cap ago, right? Right? So, you know, I remember when Amazon was trading at a very high P, all these stocks, right? And when it comes to the true winners, right? The game-changing companies, the unicorns, people overlook PE. That's why people, it's not like they completely overlook it, but they can hold on to the stock regardless of the PE because they see the vision. They see where the company could be in 5-10 years, and I think PLTR could be a $1 trillion company. I really do believe that at some point in the coming years here. So traditionally, yes, it is overvalued PE-wise, no doubt, right? If you're just looking at PE. But if you look at where the company's going, all the growth this company is set to have, and I think there's a lot more growth than what people realize with AIP, with all these, you know, new contracts and customers they're getting. I think there's a lot more growth to be had, and people, I think it's a mistake if they look at the PE and they're like, I'm avoiding the stock completely, right? Because that's the same thing that happened with Amazon, right? Apple, all these other stocks that were high Ps. People ignored them and they just kept on going, right? And that's how you miss out on a generational opportunity. And again, I'm not saying Palantir is just going to keep on going up with no pullbacks. That's not realistic. We're going to get pullbacks, no doubt. But I just think people are overlooking it in terms of, you know, or they're just paying too much attention to the valuation and not the overall vision where the company is going. And that's not everybody. That's just some people, obviously. Now, would I buy Palantir at these levels? I'm personally not, because I'm in at $20. So I'm kind of in a interesting scenario here where I have a ton of gains built in. So for me, I'm like, sure, the P's high, but I like where the company's going. I think it's going to be a $1 trillion company one day. I'm already up about 500%. I'm just going to ride it out. That's the position I'm in. And if I wasn't already in Palantir, I'd wait for a pullback, quite frankly. You know, similar to what we saw, you know, a couple of weeks ago. Right around Christmas time, we went from 85 down to 60. That would be an opportunity, or that's what I'd be looking for an entry point this go around, right? Let's say, for example, we see a blow-off top rally. We get to 130, all right? Then we get a sharp pull down to, let's say, 100 or something, or 110. That's what I'd be looking at, right? That's the opportunity that I'd be looking at to start a position if I'm not already in it, right? But at this point, me personally, I'm just holding on. And again, I haven't sold a single share, like I mentioned earlier in the video, because this is a stock that really reminds me of NVIDIA when it first started taking off. I've been saying that now for months. I mean, this is nothing new. I've been saying that, and I'm not selling, man. I just think this will be, it's going to go a lot higher over time, in my opinion, long term. Now, in the short term, it's anybody's best guess. But I just think if you're solely fixated on PE, you're going to miss out. You know, a lot of people argue about that on Twitter, you know, the value investors. But I'm not a big fan of value investing. Well, let me not say that. I think value investing is good. But, you know, a lot of these guys that solely invest in super cheap companies, low PEs, a lot of them get caught in value traps. Have you heard of that term, value trap, guys? Sometimes stocks are super cheap for a reason. It doesn't mean you have to go buy it because it's super cheap. And trust me, I've learned that the hard way. the hard way. I've owned stocks, for example, Intel. I thought it was a great value a couple of years ago. I bought at $50, and well, look at where it's at now. $26, right? That's a good example of a value trap, or at least it was. I don't know about today, but it is rallying a bit now. Potentially Broadcom's going to buy them, Taiwan Semiconductor, whatever. But a lot of these value investors, they overlook companies like Palantir, but they get into other companies, other stocks that virtually have no growth. Sure, they're trading at a low PE, but there's a reason a lot of the time. Nobody wants to own the stock. And there could be money to be made in low PE value stocks, whatever you want to call them, right? There definitely is money to be made there, but my style of investing is a little bit different, right? And we'll leave it at that. I'm excited to see and hear what you guys have to think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button. Do not forget to subscribe and snag up your 30 stocks from Moomoo. Once you open up your account, fund it with at least $100. You get 5 free stocks. Fund it with at least $2,000. You get 25 more stocks, and your uninvested cash will earn up to 8.1% APY. So guys, if you want to help out the channel and you want 30 free stocks, it's literally free money. Check out the Moomoo link down below or go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo. And with that being said, guys, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video.